In this video, I'm going to be talking about email deliverability checklist to ensure that your emails are landing in the right inbox. Let's get into it. My name is Luis Ortega from Axelo Marketing, and I have created an email deliverability checklist in order for you to ensure that your emails are landing on the right inbox rather than being filtered as a spam. Let's dive into it. Here we go. So, the first thing that you gotta make sure in order for you to understand this is that why is this so important before you start sending out a bunch of emails to your prospects? First of all, reputation management. What does this mean? It means that whenever you're sending someone, your domain that is connected to your email actually has a reputation, so that if you have ever encountered an email that has that tag where it says report as spam, this person has been sending a bunch of emails to multiple persons, you are being tagged as a spam if you do not do the steps. So you got to make sure that you are following every step of the way. All right, let's get into it. Now the next thing is the importance of this. Having email deliverability checklist is that it will give you higher open rates and conversions, which means if you have this checked out, you would actually get a bunch more replies. Plus, in return, you would have the opportunity to turn those replies into leads, into appointments that would turn into sales that you can apply to your business or whatever it is that you're doing cold email outreach to. Right? And lastly, brand credibility. It reflects positively on the brand's credibility. What does this mean? If you're sending a bunch of cold email to multiple persons, you cannot use your main domain as the sender. Because remember, your domain would eventually burn. It's just a matter of time. And what you want to do is prevent that from happening by creating a bunch of subdomains or a different domain that would be redirected to your main domain. If this may sound too complicated, I also created a bunch of videos on how I do it. You want to check the playlist down below, or if you subscribe to our channel so that you learn more stuff like this. Okay, let's proceed. Now that you know the importance, let's proceed on the key factors affecting email deliverability. Okay, first thing is email authentication. DKIM, SPF, and DMARC plays a crucial role. If you're not familiar with any of these terms, I've also created a video on how I set this up when you're starting out if you buy a new domain. What are the things you set up in order for you to set up the DKIM, the DMARC? I've created a step-by-step guide in order for you to make sure that you are setting this up properly. Because this is an important role. It builds trust and credibility and your reputation whenever you're sending out emails to certain people. Next, email content and relevance. Quality content is essential for deliverability. First of all, who are you sending emails to? Second, what are you sending to them? You gotta make sure that it is related. You cannot send email to e-commerce brands relating to, I don't know, service-based roofing. That's completely unrelated. You gotta make sure that you are targeting the right people for the thing that you're actually sending. That's for email content and relevance. Lastly, list hygiene. Clean lists to reduce the chances of being flagged as spam. What do I mean by this? Whenever you have an email list, you are scraping data from the internet, and you do not have a way to ensure that all the emails are real. How do you do this? You clean the lists. You basically clean those lists by uploading it into a software that cleans it and double verifies it to make sure that that email is actually a person that exists and using that actively. Well, what if I don't clean them? Well, you will be receiving multiple emails that will bounce and basically affect your domain reputation. If it affects your domain reputation, which means it's gonna burn your domain, and if you still continue sending emails, you're gonna be tagged as spam, which means it's better if you don't send emails because it's not receiving. the people that you're sending it out to are not getting your emails. So you gotta make sure that your leads are clean. If you wanna know how to clean the leads, comment down below if you want me to make a tutorial about it as well, and then I'll do it if that's something you guys need a support with. Let's proceed. Here are the common mistakes to avoid in email deliverability, okay? First thing is ignoring feedback loops, which means ignoring feedback on email engagement is a common error. If you are receiving a bunch of stop, unsubscribe, don't message me, which means there's a certain percentage. First of all, just a disclaimer, that's completely normal. You would receive people that are not interested to what you're offering because sometimes, hey, that's just the way it works. You're targeting multiple people, only a certain percentage will be interested, right? But there's a certain percentage that you have to make sure that am I doing wrong? There's a fine line between am I doing wrong or is this just a good finite amount of percentage of people that are not interested, okay? Well, how do I define that? Well, first of all, are you targeting the right people for the right service? You might be asking, can I do a property assessment on you? You might be asking the wrong person for the service that you're offering. If I am offering a security assessments, I want to reach out to property managers because property managers are in that property. You get what I mean? You gotta find the right people and pitch them the right thing. Next, neglecting list maintenance. Not maintaining the email list can harm deliverability. The only thing that you gotta make sure here is that you should remove the do not contact or the ones that have already unsubscribed and are clearly not interested with your service, okay? The way you do that is by tagging them. You cannot tag this directly on Gmail, Outlook directly. You gotta use some type of software to manage your master inbox that prevents you. Imagine you're sending multiple thousands of leads daily, okay? So you gotta make sure that you have a proper system in terms of tagging it, making sure that it is on the right tagline, okay? Lastly, omitting unsubscribe option. Omitting unsubscribe option. Not providing an unsubscribe link affects reputation, okay? So you either put it down below or you gotta make sure that even when they reply as a stop, unsubscribe, things like not interested, you gotta make sure you tag them directly because it will affect your domain reputation if you keep sending to them. They might even tag you as harassment or something. Some people are like that. You gotta make sure of that. Next, here are the best practices for improving email deliverability, all right? First, you gotta make sure that you're doing the proper email warm up before even sending a bunch of emails. I cannot stress how important this is. You cannot skip this process. Remember, you're gonna be sending thousands and thousands of cold emails to people. In order for you not to be tagged as spam, you gotta make sure that you're going through the right process. You have to make sure that you're doing the 14-day email warm-up process by whatever it is your provider is. It's either Smart Lead, Instantly, whatever you're using. Once you go through that, check the reputation. Are you good? What's the status for the 14 days? You gotta send test emails. Within those test emails, is the person you're sending it to receiving it? Second, when someone sends you an email, are you receiving it? Goes back and forth, right? Next, you cannot skip that process before launching a cold email campaign, okay? That's how important it is. Next, personalization. Customize emails for a personalized experience. You cannot, there's certain cheat codes or there's certain segmentation ways that you could easily navigate this. Especially, how can you personalize, the real question there is, how can you personalize an email if you're sending to 20,000 leads? That takes a lot of work. It could take days, even months, in order for you to personalize that. The way we can do that is by adding spin tags. Make sure that the first sentence is being differentiated and some type of other stuff, which I can discuss in another video if you want me to. Okay? Lastly, optimization. Regularly optimize and test email campaigns. The way you do it is you test a bunch of variables, figure out which variable works best, then follow-up sequence, figure out which follow-up sequence works, then if it still doesn't reply, which third sequence could they reply? You gotta keep testing in order for you to find the winning campaign, winning script that could work for your target audience. This is not a one-time thing. It's a constant improving, constant tweaks. What type of call to action works on this email? What type of call to action works on this audience? What's the headline? What's the title that could intrigue their interest? It's a constant small revisions in order for you to tweak them, and for you to get a winning script. Because remember, once you've done this, it's just a volumes game. Once that you got the right script, in order for them to get to reply, in order for you to book a call, in order for you to make a sale, once you got that locked in, you're already good. The only thing you're missing left is you gotta reach out to more people. Okay? But that's the most important thing, right? It's the hardest to break through, but once you get that dialed in, it's only a rut all the way up there, you know? Next. Lastly, in conclusion and the next steps, you have to continue monitoring your emails, okay? Measure, analyze, and optimize email campaigns regularly. Next, education and training. Invest in educating the team about the best practices. If you have an email marketing team, continue educating them, send them this video, or if you don't have yet, contact Axelo Marketing, will do it for you. It's pretty easy. Just go down to the link below or go to axelomarketing.com. Read if your business fits our services, or if you are a B2B service-based businesses that's looking for you to get sales appointments booked in your calendar per month, then we can do it for you. Click the link below. All right? So that's it for this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe down below. And if you want me to create more content like this, feel free to make a suggestion. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.